Chris V at Motion Pro again. We're back in the Motion Pro workshop, and today I wanted to talk about a really cool tool that is called the Motion Pro Forktru, and this is a new tool that was invented by the guys here at Motion Pro. It's a patent pending tool, and what it's used for is to verify the alignment of your forks on a motocross bike. The forks on a motocross bike are really long, obviously, and the way the axles are set up on modern bikes these days is one side is fixed, where the other side floats on the axle and is held in position by pinch bolts. If you tighten down the pinch bolts at the wrong time, the fork can get pulled inwards or pushed outwards and will cause the fork not to be completely parallel, which will influence how the suspension works. It can also accelerate wear on the seals and the bushings in your fork, and so it's really important to make sure that the fork tubes are parallel to optimize performance and maximize the lifetime of all the components on the fork. So let's talk about how the Forktru works. The Forktru is a pretty simple tool. There's only a couple of components to it. For those of you who are familiar with machine tools, they're basically a couple of V-blocks that are held together by a bracket. And there are two thumb screws that allow you to change the spacing between the two V-blocks. What this allows you to do is set the tool for your fork legs at the top of the forks just underneath the triple clamp. And then when you set the width, then you can transfer that down by the axle and verify if the fork legs are parallel or not. So it's a pretty simple tool. There's not a whole lot to it. Let's go and try and put this thing in place and see how true these forks are. What we're going to do is we're going to set the width of the Forktru to the top of the fork legs right here underneath the fender. And then once we have that set up, then we can transfer that measurement down to lower on the fork leg. So you take these loose and set the Forktru on the fork legs as close to the fender as you can get. You'll feel when the two V-blocks are stable on the curve of the fork leg. Then you can tighten up the two thumb screws and double check your alignment on the fork. If it's not set right, you'll feel it rock back and forth. If it's nice and stable, you know you have it set correctly. So you can double check your thumb screws. Check it one more time real quick. Now we're ready to go and check it down at the bottom of the fork leg. Okay, so now we're ready to go and check the bottom of the fork legs. You might have noticed that we just moved the the fork guards up out of the way so that we can get to the fork legs themselves. It's really important. Some bikes you can get to it without moving the fork guards. Others you have to. It just depends on what you have. So we have the Forktru still set for the upper width. Now what we do is sneak the Forktru through the spokes and onto the tubes as low as we can near the front axle. And now I can try to move the Forktru back and forth, and I know there's no movement on this one, and so I know that the fork leg down here is the same width as the fork tube up here, and so we're parallel up and down. That's the whole goal of this tool. If that's what you get when you put your bike back together, congratulations, you're all ready to go. If you find that the fork tubes are not parallel down here, you need to loosen the pinch bolt and move your floating side fork leg in and out a little bit to get it adjusted correctly, tighten it back down, and check it again. That's all there is to it.
For more information on the products featured here, please head to our website, DennisKirk.com.